Hello everybody, Alzheimer here with another video. Today we're going to be diving right on into it here. It's going to be a build video, but more of a fun build video, which I will hopefully turn into a series. Now, what I mean by fun, um, I just mean just kind of what it says, just fun, like it's really just meant for it's not meant for sweaty content. It's not, if you bring any of these builds into like hardcore, like end game elite, trials or even like dungeons and, for people who were trying to get like no death and speed run and you know what I mean? Like the really competitive hardcore stuff. I, I don't think it will be the greatest idea. Because they're just meant for fun with your friends. You can get done pretty much almost anything in the game with these builds. It's just, like I said, you can get normal dungeons, even some vet dungeons, maybe even all of them, you know, but they're they're not going to blow anybody away. I know I'm kind of turning everybody off, and aren't I? That's not the point. These builds are just meant for fun with your friends. PvP, battlegrounds, dungeons, even trials maybe, but but any sort of like competitive sweaty stuff, that's probably not the best builds to use. But anyway, now that I've totally destroyed the video, let's dive right on into it here. Again, this is called the Argonian build. So what I did was I looked at the racial passives of the Argonians, some of the lore, and I've kind of tried to build a build around it. At least a workable one. And what I really loved was this passive here. And this is when you drink a potion, you restore 3,000 health, magic, and stamina, right? So I really wanted to lean into that one. I'm like, all right, so let's lean into that. We know that there are sets out there that can benefit from that, right? But how do we really take advantage of it? Let's get into it. So what I did was 5-piece Clever Alchemist. That's a big duh, right? When you drink a potion during combat, you feel a rush of energy, increasing your weapon and spell damage by about 650 for 20 seconds. Now keep in mind that 20 seconds. I really want you to really, really keep that one in mind. All right. So what I did was on the bigger pieces, I did reinforce to really make them kind of beefy. Because if I'm in Cyrodiil, I'm gonna get hit really hard, and you know I've got to be able to survive these things. Like I said, make the build viable but also fun. Because there's no fun if you're just getting killed. Like, yay, I'm getting torched every 10 seconds. On the smaller pieces here, I did Inpen. It just gets your crit resistance up, which is pretty important PvP still, in my opinion. Gets me to about 1940. And now here is where I kind of swerved a little bit away from the Argonian build and more towards the fact that this is a healer build. I probably should have said that from the beginning. This is a healer build, okay, or a support build. Not really made for damage. You can by all means make it damage oriented if you want, but what I did with jewelry kind of makes it a little hard. So we did Symphony of Blades, just because, like I said, this is a healing build. Now you can flex this out if you don't want to do that. If you want to stick to the Argonian build, what I did was Troll King for the healing done because that's part of their passives, and Damihas because that's also part of their passives that increases their stamina and magical. You could do that, or you could do any other healing monster set like Bogdan, Earth Gore, you know, um, just any of the healing sets out there. Sentinel, Chokethorn, blah 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 blah. Go on and on and on. Now what I did for my second set is this new set. Now before I found this set, I was really struggling with where I was going to go with the build, like what was going to be my second set. I really wanted to lean into the potion, but there was nothing else that went with it. And then I found this beauty. When you drink a potion while in combat, you gain 7.7k armor for 20 seconds. That is really good. And I also added, just because I have so many of these, I put these on my bar because, well, Black Marsh Poison kind of fits Argonian. Um, Obviously powered front bar. I did defending on the back bar with disease enchant, again kind of like Argonian. Now what I did with the jewelry, that's where this I wouldn't say shines, but that's a lot of the build. This is where your sustain comes in. Because as you noticed, I don't have a ton of magic recovery. And in PvP, PvE, you know, you're gonna want magic recovery. So what I did was, now you obviously you want these to be purple, but I don't have the mats yet. But you notice the cooldown. That's the glyph I used with infused, so it reduces the cooldown of potions by 7 seconds. Now it obviously would be higher if it was gold or purple. That's a duh. But that's where this build. This is your recovery right here. Now what I also did was I have Witch Mothers going too to kind of increase that, and I also have you know, a passive into it just to kind of help it along, because sometimes people can hit you harder, and you know you might not survive those 20 seconds for that potion. Okay, so right now my spell damage is 2.3k, 2.4, but then I'm rounding up, and then my spell resistance and physical resistance is 16 and 19. Okay, so we're gonna take note of that. Now with both those pop, now my spell damage is up to 3k. Recovery is 1.1 because of the potion. And my spell resistance is 26, and my physical resistance is 24. That's pretty beefy. Now if you also pop this too, now I'm at 32 and 30 with over 3k. I mean, that's a beefy Templar, especially for a healer. Now, look down here. Instead of the, I think it's 45 seconds, it's now 24 seconds. And that's with blue jewelry. It goes even lower with gold or purple. So that's really where this build kind of shines. You know, I really like this build. It's a fun build. Like I said, you're not gonna be invited to any sort of sweaty content, but you can still do just about everything in the game. As for my champion points, I think I went more of a healing route. I am experimenting with a few things, but I kind of went more healing route with Soothing Tide, Swift Renewal. You can swap this out for something else, like it's in here now. Yeah, you can do Ironclad there. You know, you can do uh, Duelist Rebuff, or if you're getting a lot of damage over time, Enduring Resolve is a good option too. Um, or you can go this route for your critical healing, you know, whatever. I'm kind of experimenting with Rejuvenator because it adds weapon and spell damage to my healing ability. I really like that. Yeah, I'm using the Reinforced and the Wound Focus and the Iron Flask as my defense. Just having higher armor, you know, and being able to just heal through a lot of stuff. So as for my red one, Boundless Vitality, Sustained Suffering, Juggernaut, and Hardened. Now you can, I'm kind of experimenting with these two, so you can swap them out for something else. Obviously, I'm just kind of doing it from, I wouldn't say my own fun, but just kind of like seeing how it works together. but there's so many options in the CP, guys. You know, do what works best for you and your play style, and I would, and what you want to be doing. I would say the most important things to focus on would be dawn rolling, because that's you're going to be spending a lot of stamina doing that. Breaking free, obviously, really important. I would do max health, maybe even armor. Um, I like sustained by suffering, because in PvP, um, you're going to be under a lot of negative effects, and negative effects are, lightning staff, concussed, frost staff, chilled, etc., etc. So you gain recovery from that. So that helps me out even more, surviving damage and being able to tank through it until those 20 seconds are up and I can chug another potion. And these ones are just about crowd control. Another good set, if you're finding yourself in a little bit of trouble with crowd control, is something that drops in Imperial City. I think it's an underrated set. It's Emulatar Char. I I'm just gonna show it. That's a lot easier. This one here, Emulatar Char. You take damage but when you take damage while below 50% health, gain immunity to mobilization, snares, crowd controls. Basically PvP. I think this is an underrated set, but again, this is more about just having fun, being an Argonian build. Feel free to change this build to something that fits you, because at the end of the day, this game's about having fun. It really, really is. Now, if you're in PvP, I would suggest having a health around 30k. Magic is stamina. The food you really want to be running. If you're not running, Witch Mothers, that's just one option. Another option is Long Fin. If you have any of the trash ground ones, you could do that, because I get those all the time. I have so many of those, it's just stupid. Another one to do is the Bear Haunch one that drops in Rothgar, and there's definitely another one I can't remember. But yeah, you can do. There's so many different options. Potion wise, I do the trash potions because I have a lot of them, as you can tell by all the names and how many I have. But you probably want something with immobilization on it. These ones, in essence of immovability, these really come in handy. But again, just have fun with it. Make this your own. But this is my Argonian build. There is another set that I think drops with Necrom that also affects potion cooldown. So I'm going to be testing that. And if it's not in the comments below, I might do another video from PTS. Probably just going to comment on it though, because I want to see if I can get the potion cooldown even further. Further break this build, But thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, as always. And don't forget to like the video. I'm really going to try to keep up with posting videos, but I do this for fun. Really, I mean, not much more than that, but and keep an eye on this series. I have a lot of different builds planned, but let me know if you like this build, if you think it's trash. Yeah, whatever. Like, it's just meant for fun. So go out there, have some fun, and be safe out there.